Here on 4th Street with our picks for Southern Miss at Tulane. Tulane is a 13-point favorite. The over-under is set at 48.5. I will start with Nathan because he's not able to be here today. He has Southern Miss winning 20-17, so that would be under the 48.5, and that would obviously mean Southern Miss covering the spread since Tulane is 13-point favorites. Charlie, then Jackson, then Austin.
Do you want to go with the fan vote, or are you gonna say
Oh,
the
yeah,
fan
yeah.
vote?
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
I got it pulled up. I got it pulled up for you because I'm looking at what the fans are saying. We actually got 16% voted Tulane, but of course the rest are voting Southern Miss. And before the season started, I listed this as one of those questionable games, but I think just because of the rivalry, because of kind of the ties that Hall has to Tulane, I think this is going to be a really competitive game. So it can go either way. I got it going really close. And both of these teams are really good defensive teams. It's just whether Southern Miss can figure out offensively. And based on the competition we saw from Southern Miss versus Liberty, I know that they're capable of competing against Tulane. So I got them edging out Tulane 24-20.
24-20 would be under the 48.5. Okay. Jackson, who you got?
Yeah, this one's tough because, like Charlie, this was one of the games where I thought it was a question mark for Southern Miss, whether they could win or not. I'd say it's about 50-50 preseason. But now it feels a little bit more tougher because I don't know if any of us expected Tulane to perform like they did against Kansas State last week. And you pair that against Southern Miss, they beat Northwestern State last week. That's the competition's not really there. So Tulane's definitely riding a high right now, 3-0, Southern Miss 1-2 going in there. It's a rivalry game, which is why I think it'll be really close. But I think Tulane pulls away late. They win 28-21, and that will be over.
Well, I'm definitely not going over. I'm just going to keep it plain and simple. I think it's going to be a defensive game. There'll be a lot of defensive stops, and Southern Miss will have to rely a lot on their defense. I think Tulane will have to rely a lot on their defense. But I do have Southern Miss pulling out by 3 points. Maybe on a Briggs Bourgeois game winner. We don't know. But my score is 17-14. I think it'll be very, very defensive. I think we could see Southern Miss score early touchdown. We can see them score early touchdown and is they've started season, score early touchdown, then hit a drought and maybe score another touchdown and get another field goal. I think that Tulane will probably score possibly at the end of the first half or the beginning of the second half. I think that Tulane will start to get the offense going in there because I think Southern Miss defense will come out very physical in this game. And I think both teams will be physical at the end of the day. I think that it'll be decided on who can run the ball better. I think that will be one of the key takeaways. Who can run and take over the rest. So that's pretty much it. I think it will be an old fashioned game and a mud ball game, whatever you want to call it, bully ball. But I think it should be fairly close. And 17-14, I have so.
So I would probably pick Southern Miss to win this game if it wasn't on the road. And the reason I'm not going to pick Southern Miss to win this football game is mainly because of Tulane's defense. If the strength of a team is their defense, I am not through the first 3 games of the season very confident in Southern Miss's offense that they can go on the road and upset a team that's favored by 13 with literally one of the best defenses in the country. I think they're top 5 in defenses in the country right now. They haven't allowed a second half point yet in their entire season. I know that the first game was like against UMass or whatever, but like, can we sit here and say that Southern Miss would go to Kansas State and beat Kansas State? Like, I wouldn't pick Southern Miss to beat Kansas State. So, but I do think Southern Miss's defense will keep Southern Miss in the game. But I think Tulane scores late to pull away. So I have Tulane winning 21-6. So that's under the 48 and a half. But I do think it's like, 14-6 mid fourth and Southern Miss is in it. They're like, I don't think that, like, when you hear 21-6, you might be thinking calling a blowout, but I'm not. I think it's close, but I just think Tulane just does something late because they're at home. They're going to have momentum and maybe get a sack on third down, and then Southern Miss goes for it, and then Tulane scores late, something like that. But I'm until I see it from the offense, I'm not going to pick them to beat a team with a very good defense, especially not on the road. So that's the reason rationale behind my pick. But that is the under. So everybody picked the under except for Jackson, and those are our picks. I think we are a perfect split. So 3 for Southern Miss and then 2 for Tulane. So that's not a perfect split. I don't even know what I'm talking about. But so that's our pick, Southern Miss, Tulane. And now we will head on to Prince Pick'em.